Hello everybody, Mr. Storm here. Welcome back to Satisfactory. In the last episode, we did a little bit more work in the MAM to unlock a few more things. And then we came back over to the metal foundry to start working on the copper production line. Because there are a couple of copper mines right nearby, so we got those set up. Routed the belts in, brought them up to the foundry level where we have smelted the ore into ingots. And that is as far as we've gotten so far. I went ahead and painted everything. That was one thing that I didn't do. And so now we are ready to turn those ingots into stuff. Wire and sheets, I believe, is what we're going to be doing. I think that's the only thing that you can do with the raw copper. So, that is what we're going to do, and I need to decide. We'll just do the same thing we did over here. So let's go ahead and put a hole in the floor, and send it downstairs. And now let's head downstairs and let's see what it is that we're going to do. All right. So there is the hole. I just gotta figure out how the floor is gonna work here. Let's see. So. Let's see here. Oh, no, I was going to poke through the wall there. All right, so... the wall would then need to be here. Then we have this pillar, which I have to see what's on top of that pillar. Because there probably is a power slug up there, at the very least. I'm just trying to find out where my bounds are. I'm trying to hide the rock. That's what we're trying to hide. Yep. I am running a little short on iron plate. Fortunately, we actually have that in the area, so... Alright, so we have this area to work with. What I think we're going to do is for now, I'm not going to worry about this. And what we're going to do is, well, first off, I'm going to go grab myself some more iron, because we're going to need it. I have a good amount of concrete, so that won't be an issue. And I think I'm just going to pull the iron out of those machines. There we go. That's going to be easier. Just need to kind of establish the boundaries here. So, that goes in there, up there. Alright, well, I'll have to figure out the walls and the floors and everything else there. Another time. One of the things I'm going to have to do at some point, off screen, mostly, is going to be building out the final look of the whole facility once everything is here and I know where it is. Alright, where is that floor hole? There it is. Okay. Alright, so at the very least... this is going to be the space that I'm working with. All right, here's a question. It's not going to be wide enough. Because this was just wide enough for the too wide over here, right? Because this is what I was kind of thinking, is that we're going to do a similar design to this, right? Similar design to that, but with one line doing wire and the other line doing sheets. Alright, let's do this for a second. To move that wall, can I at least get the blueprint? Oh, I'm missing materials. So I wouldn't even be able to build it anyway. Okay. Alright. Let's at least let's try and squeeze it in manually then as best I can. There's the floor hole. All right. So, what we're going to need is we're going to need a conveyor splitter. Bump it up as close to this as I can, and let's start it there. Well, I mean, I could probably start it more like there. And then we would have a constructor, right? As close as possible to that. And then we would have a conveyor merger. As close as possible to that. Another conveyor merger. Another constructor. And then a splitter. Yeah, I can make it fit. Okay, and so then what you're going to be doing is you're going to be making... You can make wire out of Caterium. No, we'll make the wire out of copper. And we're going to make the copper sheet out of copper, obviously. Alright, so we need to split this. Alright, we need to split this here. Wait, was that already connected? I don't know. It is now. Into 2 runs of 240. Yeah, this Mark 1's in, Mark 1's out. Alright. So how many? 15 per minute. This is 1 to 2, so 30 per minute. So I think we're still doing 16 of these. Hold on. Yeah, 16. 16 of those. All right. $20 per minute. $12 of those. And this is 2 to 1. So this is going to be making 120 per minute copper sheets and 480 per minute copper wire, which actually, that's fine. Considering how much wire we actually use versus how much sheet we use, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I wish it was way easier to make blueprints in this than in other games of this type. But, oh well. I'll just build it by hand. I mean, I could do it somewhere else, I guess. Yeah, I'll do it by hand. That's 3, right? Right, that's 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, it's 12, right? Yeah, that's 12. Fill that in real quick. All right. So 13, 14, 15, 16. All right. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, nope. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And 12. All right, yep. All the numbers should work out here. Output of the merger goes that direction. All right. Now splitters. Once I can mass produce... Oh. Once I can mass produce power shards, it'll make some of this a little bit easier because I won't need to build as many. For large production runs. But for now, this is what we've got. Well, in reality, what would end up happening most likely is once we have higher tier belts, we just come in here and we throw power shards into the existing infrastructure and we just ramp up its own production. So, you know, that's likely what we'll just end up doing if we need to make more. Alright, and now belts. And we do need to copy over the configuration. That hasn't been done yet. Now, these only just need to be Mark IIIs, because we're only doing 240. That's a little bit easier way to do that. All the ins and outs oriented correctly, then the belts automatically set their direction up the way they're supposed to. Which is good. That's a nice convenience. There we go. Okay, so the output on these, this is going to need to be Mark IVs. Where I do need to go pick up some more encased industrial beams. a bunch more. Okay. Well, let's finish up the Mark 1 installation. Because this is really only going to need Mark 2 coming off of this. But I'll probably do it as Mark 4 anyway, just because it's convenient. And saves me having to upgrade later. Alright, well, the other thing that we can do here is set up the electrical. And we're going to do Mark II poles. Let's see, I'm going to set them up like that. Every other. And here's where we can go down to Mark 1 poles. Just keep the consistent placement. That one, that one, that one, and that one. All right. Need to figure out power for the moment. Which we'll just do that, and that'll turn everybody on. Okay. It'll turn, well, it'll turn them on, but it won't actually get them to do what they need to do. Did I copy that? Oh. Alright, but I think we're actually getting toward the end of this episode, so I will work on probably finishing up this run off screen, because this isn't anything more than what we've seen before, so I will finish getting everybody configured, getting all the belts installed, at least to get these production runs operational. Get everything painted. And then we will work on getting belts routed to where they're going to need to go for being loaded on trains. So, we'll go ahead and stop here for now. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.